a minute, write it down. Of course, there's like kind of a, I don't know if it's magical, but I think there's an important aspect to actually writing it down as opposed to just thinking about it. It makes it a little more permanent. You're committing to an answer instead of like, oh, yeah, I was thinking that, right? You commit to it. You say, this is my answer. Feel free to compare. Like, peek at each other's papers. Show your paper to other folks. See what you think. Okay. Hey, William, do you have Tom's age by any chance? What do you think?
J plus 3 equals T.
Well, so remember, we're not really looking for an equation.
Oh, yeah.
All it said is write an expression. So we really don't want an equal sign here. We just say, hey, Tom, we want to indicate that we're talking about Tom, right?
Yeah.
Tom is J plus 3. That would be his expression. Okay, so then, Colby, how about the other person, Carly?
Carly is J minus 5.
Carly is J minus 5. I agree. Okay, so those would be those 3 expressions for each of the people. You could set this up in a number of ways, to be honest with you, depending on who you made your base variable. I think it makes a lot of sense to make Joan your base variable since she relates to both folks. But you wouldn't have to do it that way. I think it's maybe the easiest way. All right, so 11 and 12 says, how many seconds are in X minutes? And 12 is find the total value of D plus 1 dimes in cents. So these are a little different. These are still kind of an interpretation, but a little different in their presentation. So take a minute and try both 11 and 12. Number 11. How many seconds, Danny, are in X minutes?
X times 60.
X times 60. What do you guys think about that? What's your reaction? X time, yeah, what do you think, Jake?
I would just I think it's right. I would just rewrite it differently as 60x.
60x. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
I'd take either one of them, but yeah. I'd say that's a common way to see it. I think you're both 100% correct. Looks really good. Any questions about that one? Okay, the other one maybe has a little level of trickery to it, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. Rocky, what do you think about 12?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So what if I told you that I had 9 dimes and asked for the value in cents? What would you do with the 9?
Put it in D. Wait, what?
I'm sort of ignoring this question for the moment. I just said, hey, you know what, Rocky? In my pocket right now, I have 9 dimes. I said, how many cents do I have? What would you do?
90 cents.
Well, what would you do to get that?
Do 9 times 10.
9 times 10, right? So let's think this through. So I don't have 9 dimes in number 12. I have D plus 1. Lord knows what D is, right? It's just some variable. But if I have 9, you said 9 times 10 was the value of the money in my pocket. Now I'm telling you that I have D plus 1 dimes in my pocket. Wouldn't you do the same thing?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you multiply by 10? So tell me exactly what to write.
20 cents.
No, but I don't have 1 dime. I have D plus 1. Okay. I'm not making sense here, am I? Okay, so I want you to struggle through this. I want you to fight through this. Maybe other folks are kind of fighting through this with you. So D plus 1 is kind of like the 9, isn't it? Right?
Yeah,
Rocky, are you with me or no? You okay? Okay, I'll let you sit for a second. What do you think, Jake? Let me put it like this. So D plus 1 is kind of like the 9 in my little example, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like Rocky suggested, we probably need to multiply by 10. But like kind of the way you do that is crucial, isn't it? So what would you exactly write?
Well, I would put D plus 10.
D plus 10, interesting. So what it sounds like you added, or you turned the 1 into a 10.
Yeah, because it did it in cents, and so it's 1 dime is 10 cents.
But I don't have 1 dime.
Well, plus 1 dime.
No, I've got, like, I have this many dimes. I have D plus 1 dimes. I don't have 1 dime. I've got D plus 1 of them. So Ben, what do you think I should write?
So you have to multiply the whole expression by 10, so it'd be
Yes.
10D plus 10.
Oh, okay, and you distributed, didn't you?
Yeah.
Will you undistribute for me? Like, undo the distribution that you did?
D plus 1. And then multiply that by 10, so.
Parentheses, like that's the thing that we're like avoiding like the plague right now. Thank you for saying parentheses. Wouldn't it be 10 parentheses? And that's the trick to this one, isn't it? And you distributed. I get that. I definitely get that. But I wanted to see, we haven't officially covered the distributed property yet, right?
Well, I just knew that the D was dimes and the 1 was dimes, so I just multiplied them both by 10.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that. So this would be at least an expression. I mean, Ben's expression would be 100% correct as well. But it's 10 times the number of dimes. I don't have D dimes. I don't have 1 dime. I've got D plus 1. So I've got to multiply the 10 times the whole quantity. Amelia.
Okay, so could you put the 10 in parentheses on there?
Sure, you could do this. This would be right.
Okay.
But this, what I'm about to write, this would not be correct. That is definitely incorrect.
Okay.
Because if I write it like that, the 10 is only being multiplied times the D.
Okay.
Only. And the 10 needs to be multiplied by the whole thing.
Okay.
So let me put it like this. Let's make it as specific to this question as we can. What if I said I have 8 plus 1 dimes in my pocket?
You have 80 cents. 90 cents.
Because isn't it 10 times the 8 and 10 times the 1?
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can't just be 10 times the first number because that's not how many dimes I have. I have 8 plus 1. I've got actually 9. So that's why it's got to be 10 times the whole D plus 1, not just the D.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Let's move on here. I really do think these steps are crucial. So taking a look at number 13, it says evaluate negative 3x cubed plus y squared if x is negative 2 and y is negative 5. Here is your first step. I really honestly think that this is incredibly important. These do get more complicated. You want to have some good habits here. Here's what you do. Please look. Only look. No write. I'm going to replace all of my variables with just empty parentheses. Maybe you did this in middle school. Maybe you didn't. But this way will set you up for success. So any variable you see, and of course in number 13 there's only 2 of them. There's an x, there's a y, that's it. I want you to replace those variables with just empty parentheses, like parentheses with nothing in there. We'll fill in the parentheses in just a second. All right, so then once you've done that, you can look on the end and you can see which variable is which, right? So x needs to be replaced by negative 2. So I'm going to put a negative 2 right here. And y needs to be replaced by negative 5. Make sense? Now if you don't have those parentheses in there, remember how negatives being squared, whether there's parentheses there or not, that makes a difference, doesn't it? So that's why these parentheses in there are very, very important. Once you have filled those things in, now we get to do the thing that you've been working on so much, order of operations. So let's see if you guys can take it home from here, okay? Isn't this way easier than what we've been working on? Doesn't mean that it's easy, just means that it's easier. So take a minute, try to finish this one off, and we'll see where we end up. Let's.